Okay. Do we have any citizen comments?
None that I've received.
Right.
Uh,
Well, should we say welcome to?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a citizen comment, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Can we do one of those embarrassing like meet and greet things?
Yeah. Like, tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Heather Moore. I'm a mom of two. I chair the Nez Perce County Republican Women's Club.
I do know you.
I
Okay,
know.
sorry.
And I'm on my church board, so Central Committee. I do personal training and very much into health and fitness. Guys, I have a hearing impairment and speech impediment, so I thought doing a hopefully a different perspective to this board and help advocate for people. So thank you all. Thank you to the city council for having me.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We want to
Do we want to end it again?
Yeah, I guess. Start with you.
Go ahead, leader.
I'm Constance Vance. I work for Opportunities Unlimited, so I work with adults with developmental disabilities. And I was really interested in DAC so that I too could advocate for people in the community that might not have as easy access to a voice. And yeah, that's me.
I am Matt Ruth. 15 years as a teacher, high school, special needs, really behavior-oriented teaching towards the end. And then the last 5 years I've been at Addis Home Care to take care of the elderly and disabled in our community. And so when this came up as an opportunity, I was definitely interested in being a place to also advocate for folks that need a little bit more assistance here and there occasionally, so.
My name is Jessica Granger. I'm a service coordinator for adults with developmental disabilities, and I think I'm going on my ninth, or I just passed my 9th year of that. And I also have personal experience with my own family that have their own barriers, and so I also thought this would be a good way to advocate for those in need and collaborate with other people in the community as well.
Sorry, I'm looking over. Welcome. Yeah, we're doing roundtable introductions.
I see.
You're new. We've got Heather over here that's new, so we just thought we'd introduce ourselves. I'm Nikki. I'm the HR director for the city. I'm the staff liaison for this commission, and I'm also the ADA coordinator for the city of Lewiston.
Oh, okay. But I work at Disability Action Center as an independent living advocate. And I also sit on a few nonprofit boards locally working with the homeless. And so, yeah, I didn't hear what everybody else said, so I don't know how detailed you want me to be.
I think that's good.
You're fine.
I'm Matt Wright. I'm on the city council. Grew up in this area, surrounding area, I suppose. I work over at Regents in their IT department. And Hannah, when she went over to become county commissioner, one of the county commissioners, she recommended me to sit on this commission as the council liaison.
My name is Mike Feeney, and I was a professional architect and had an office here in town until I retired about 15 years ago. And I've been on this committee for almost, I was trying to remember, I think it's 10 years. And anyway, Eric Peterson recruited me, and I came on at the same time as well, anyway. And anyway, that's about it.
So it's my turn.
I think you're up.
Yeah, so my name is Justin Glenn. I'm the new Parks and Recreation Director for the city of Lewiston. Been here 2 months and it's been good. I came from doing Parks and Recreation, facility management, program management with the Department of the Army for 22 years. People coming over here, and it's been a great transition. A lot slower pace, but in different aspects of SLO. There's a lot of opportunity in the city. Dave, you'll introduce yourself, and I are fresh set of eyes, and I have a lot of things that I want to try to accomplish. And so there's great platforms to do that here.
Awesome.
My name is Dave Sinner. I'm work for the city and the manager of the facilities and parks. And I've been here a month. I live in Lewiston, have always lived in Lewiston. I was a builder, a home builder in light commercial since 2000. I was a heating and air tech before that, so. Been around the city a lot.
Yeah.
And dealt with the city a lot, in lots of aspects, so. And I just decided to retire from building and get into something that you can make a difference in a different way. So I'm excited to be here. It's fun, interesting, enjoying it.
All right, so now that was a good segue into our discussion item, introducing you to and discussing future plans, ideas.
Opportunities.
Yes.
Yep. So I know when I got here, Nikki had told me you guys were already discussing about the entryway at community center, which I'm like, that's a no-brainer. So we need to get that accomplished now as soon as possible, which was now, and facilitate that. So for you guys is my viewpoint, and Dave's heard me say this, is always when I walk into an operation or a program, it's life, health, safety. That's the really I prioritize, I've been trained to prioritize my lens when I'm looking at buildings. Dave's starting to see and has seen that similarly. There's a lot of old infrastructure that's in our inventory, but that doesn't mean it can't be updated to get more accessible, more safe, more usable for a variety of different populations and for different services and programs. So I'm used to it coming from the military world. There's a lot of old infrastructure and then also a lot of new infrastructure. And in doing that, I was trained specifically at Penn State University to do inclusive recreation programs. So adaptive, inclusive, all those things. And they do a full session, a full week on ADA compliance and integration into public spaces. So that helps inform me, which then is in helping inform my facilities guy, what are some wins that we can get done around here? Like looking at door handles is a simple one. Looking at light switch is a simple one. Looking at ramps and door widths and all those different things. So as we move forward through updating our inventory, or we start developing a new park or new programs, we're going to always have that kind of in the back of our mind. Is this open and truly available to all citizens of the city? So I just she asked me to come here. I wanted to let you guys know I get it and I'm on board. It's important. I know there's value in it. I've seen the value in it. Working with wounded warriors that come back with all kinds of different challenges, but we look at them, and I look at them as opportunities to make sure our programs are more inclusive. And so, of course, all that ever takes is money, which is not that hard to come by, right? Super easy. But there's also a lot of other opportunities beyond just money. There's things that we can do because it's the right thing to do, or leverage other people's money, OP and other people's money. So throughout the opportunities, the way that we're approaching it from the department as we start now and going forward. Slip trips falls is always an easy one that I would look at. So what's our surface areas look like? Dave was just up at Orchards Pool and the locker rooms up there, which were not maybe properly surfaced. So when they get wet, and it's a pool locker room, it's going to get wet, it gets slippery. So that might not be ADA compliance specific, but it does have a role and function to play in. If somebody were to come in using a walking device that doesn't have proper traction, that thing could easily slip out. And so those are things that we want to make sure we're being mindful of as we're updating and determining our project list. And then if we have to start identifying cut lines, where we only have so much resources, how are we going to prioritize? I think that carries weight. as well. When we look at, is this important or not important? Is this good use of our resources? Yes or no? There needs to be a caveat about life, health, safety, accessibility, all those different things. That I can promise you, that's how I look at things. I'm still learning very much, so is Dave. There's a lot of historical information that is sometimes easy to find, sometimes not. And so that's where we are going to be leaning on folks and commissions like this to help maybe problem solve in the future for us or provide us perspective.
And just an update, we're trying to, drill down to the projects that have already in place, maybe weren't put into action yet. And so we've identified pretty good list, if you will, but as an action point on the ADA door at the community center, there was and is actively drawing from an engineer. I met with him, we reviewed his plans, his general ideas, and looked at his design. And so now it's just the process of getting into the works. So that's good forward progress and some action taken anyway. It's just you got to start somewhere. So
Right.
We're starting at the bottom.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty fun. It's a good challenging opportunity for both of us that have had
Sure.
a career before coming here, but great opportunity to help improve quality of life for the communities in which we use and live and play. Any questions?
Yeah, right, yeah. So, kind of a question, but one of the things I use in the problem management industry, so we have a lot of corrective action plans that we develop, and one of the methods is a risk benefit type model where you'll take, what's the amount of risk reduction I'm going to get out of this? Is it high, medium, low? Just trying to categorize it, and then what's the effort it's going to take to achieve this? Is it low effort, medium effort, high effort? And then you can sort of build out a level of which things can we tackle first.
Yeah.
What are the importance? But I don't know, I find a model like that, it's very helpful.
Yeah, decision-making models been
Yeah.
a large part of my past life and are going to transition into the new piece. So we'll have a discussion. Actually, we're going to have to leave in a little bit, but another discussion on kind of a lot of infrastructure and resource requirements, time requirements, safety requirements to meet the needs of certain services that have been delivered, but maybe not well defined.
Mhm.
So we're meeting with QuickWorks and Community Development next to kind of work through some of those things. Again, it's fresh set eyes. We're not saying it's wrong or broken. We just want to have a discussion about, is this cost benefit factor and all those types of things.
Definitely, it's great.
So one of the things that's kind of been in progress for a minute now has been the Civic Optimize, the community-led reporting of it.
Feedback.
Has that been helpful for you guys?
I haven't
Come
dipped
in.
my toes into it too much. Nikki's passed on a couple of things, I think, and it's basically like live feedback, right? Hey, this is not this location. This is that. We are still trying to hopefully get access to all the tools. So we're definitely in the crawl stage, but yeah, to have active feedback like that from, I'm fully for it because we can't always be everywhere and see everything. I think the way that, and I haven't looked at it yet, but I've looked at a lot of our tools already, and I think there's always room for improvement or best practices or benchmarking. But you can do all of those things, but without actually having a communication strategy and making it user-friendly on the front end, it's not really worth anything, right? So what I've observed so far is that we can improve what capabilities or resources that we have currently and communicate that to the general population. We can do better at that.
Well, and Civic Optimize hasn't really been fully
Released.
released.
Yeah.
It's very close, is my understanding, but they wanted to do some testing, make sure it works. But they've been receiving from this group
Yep.
some. I know, I think Eric did one on the door. Matt, you've done a few. So they've seen them come through, but once we get out to the community, I'm sure there'll be some advertising of the program.
Yeah, it'd be good to do that. So we're using that civic platform for a lot of different things. Even in our world, civic rec, like where you would sign up for softball or live at the million, whatever. Just looking at it again, my goal when I was at Fort Bragg was always to have information needed at least no more than 3 clicks away to get done what you need to get done, and we're not there. So we're gonna take some work to get there. But like those opportunities we can.
I'd like to know about some of you. Yeah. So what I just mentioned to Nikki was that there's a project called Blue Path. Have you heard of it?
I have no.
If you look it up, it's something DAC works on primarily out of our Moscow office, but I believe it is open to any organization to submit and work on. But it's kind of like a survey or a list of questions that will tell a person whether a space is acceptable or not, like a restaurant, a bathroom in the restaurant, a bakery. I mean, anywhere you can literally just identify the address and you can put all the information yourself in as just a citizen or a member of an organization. But that might be useful for you guys as far as identifying and saving time.
Yeah.
If people have already done some of that footwork, and it's I want to say it's a nationwide thing. It's not just an item thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Blue Path.
Path, yeah. They took me for a whole day and made me go around Moscow and do different buildings and put it in. And so, yeah, it's pretty detailed. I mean, it goes so far as to if a wheelchair can go under the sink to wash your hands and how tall and all of the clearance space and everything like that. So might save you guys some time from going out and measuring stuff. And
Yeah.
Can you just Google that?
yeah, it's bluepath.org is the website.
Always nice to get a baseline for free.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because Dave hasn't mentioned, but we literally only have one other facilities person currently for all of the inventory of city buildings right now. And his skill set isn't as diverse as Dave's. He's an electrician by trade. So that's a limiting factor as well. So our capacity to do a lot of things right now is pretty limited, and which isn't a bad thing as he and I are reviewing and trying to determine decision-making paths and resourcing and all those things. But if there's a tool like this that's out there, then that is definitely going to be helpful. Especially the first thing that came to my mind is our parks, restrooms are well built, but they were built a long time ago. And so what does that look like? And
Right.
how can we make those spaces more accessible?
I even have a consumer who literally he's in a wheelchair. He went around the city of Lewiston and in his neighborhood, so take like a 2-mile square radius, to see and document all of the sidewalks that did not have ramps down on the corners, and brought them in. Like, so would you guys be interested in taking on volunteers on projects like that, or data from those people? Because I didn't really know what to do with it. Like, I'm only one person too. But I thought it was really cool that he'd gone around and done that, because he had found in his neighborhood there was a lot of areas that didn't have sidewalks, period, or didn't have sidewalks that had that.
So I think that's generally the way I am understanding it, the whole point of being a commission, right? Is to pull data points like
Okay.
that from the community to help inform the city on some things we might be.
It was not even something I talked to him about either. He just came in one day and started telling me about how he'd done this project, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
some time.
if you get stuff like that, like sidewalks would be.
I'll send it to you.
Like streets, and so they might be able to use that as part of like their GIS
Okay.
information and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think it hurts to send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that Eric Peterson from our committee was really interested in that
Yeah.
topic and has advocated for ramps and a lot of sidewalks around Lewiston. So I don't know how involved he's going to be anymore. I guess he's not on the committee, not on the DAC committee, but he's probably going to maintain an interest. So
I imagine.
Imagine civilian input on that will still be high.
Yeah.
I just realized he's my back next door neighbor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can tell you from a builder standpoint, the city's done an amazing job at making that a super high priority. Because you cannot put in a sidewalk without an ADA ramp. Cannot do it.
Mhm.
That means that they put it at a high priority spot, because it's not That's not even a talking point. It just will happen, or you won't put a sidewalk in.
Right.
So that's good. And then they also have an inspector that all he does is walk sidewalks. If it's got a trip hazard, it gets fixed by
Yeah.
whomever owns it. And oddly enough, it's not the city.
Oh,
Like the builders and the owners of the properties are the ones that put the sidewalks, curb and gutter in. It's actually not the cities. So that's kind of a hard thing for people to get, but I just know from my practices, when you go in and it doesn't even matter, it could just be a single residence. This is why you see this a lot. You know, it can really pick anywhere in Lewiston that you want, but go to the orchards particularly. Go to the orchards and look on any street you want, and you'll see like a section of sidewalk.
Right in
Yep.
front of that new house.
And the reason is that is part of the program to get sidewalks and ADA ramps and into place, but how do you do that? So that's how they've started this. And then what the plan is, long range, and I don't know exactly the cities, but as a builder, those things get put in place by us at the owner's expense. And then everything up to that is that's the responsibility of the owner of the property. And then I think, long-term, and I don't know how long-term, but it'd be good to fill them in. And they've done that in a lot of places. The city's expense, they've filled in gaps where there's like, you'll see like sidewalk, curb, sidewalk, and voids. And that is something they've worked on, but I don't know what the plan is, so that's not our department, but. And I'm only been here a month, so. But, I just want to encourage you that is something that's high on their priority, because I've been doing this for a long time. I was a builder since 2000, so 25 years. And it's always been a pretty high priority, just so you know, but I don't think people know that.
Yeah.
Is that a priority? It's a priority. I'm sure that Mr. Feeney knows that as well. It certainly is a priority, in a set of drawings that on a build.
One of that has to do with the FILO program here in town, the fees in lieu of, that they can, a lot of property owners can choose to, instead of actually putting in sidewalks, can submit fees for future development in other areas that need it more, and that's why you see a bit of patchwork,
Awesome.
Do we have any further discussion?
I can add to the sidewalks to an extent. So this comes up fairly often at the city council meetings. And my understanding is there's a prioritization around schools and high traffic areas where children are going to be. That is the first focus of all the sidewalk improvements that you're seeing around the town. But bigger picture is ideally everywhere, but there is focus on certain intersections, certain areas by schools, things like that.
Yep, and I've learned already there's a difference between asphalt or paved walking path and sidewalk. They're very distinctly two different things and are categorized very separate, very different. So if you see like at Jewett Park, if you're out there, that walking path that goes around, it's exactly like 1/6 of a mile, but that is absolutely not a sidewalk. That is a walking path or a trail, or it's categorized completely different. So
it's governed differently.
it's managed completely different in the eyes of the state. It's completely different. It's same with like the levee system, the trails out there, very, very different. That's it for us.
Well, thank you so much.
That was an easy one. We got an easy.
Well, appreciate your
Yeah,
time.
we'll try to drop in, I think, whenever I can, if I can, or Dave can, if you guys got a topic specific to what you think we do.
Yeah.
Or how we can help, be happy to hear.
I was gonna ask if you guys have anything that's like historical stuff that you could share with us, projects that, you've been working with the city on, and we could help to maybe bring it to completion or execution. Is there anything that you have like in the works that we don't know?
You guys are already really aware of the Civic Plus. That's really been a big focus of us, just trying to find a way to network more with more people.
Yeah.
Because the more eyes we have, the more we can be in a place to actually make the corrections quickly.
Yeah.
That's been a predominant focus of ours, I think, for the last 2 years, to be honest with you. So we're really excited about seeing that movement.
So if we were to, let me just throw this out here, because I always do this with Nikki specifically. There's a scenario where we're putting together a project that we, either new construction or renovation or something like that. Would you guys think it'd be value added, because I do, to bring it here and get your feedback, or let you guys kind of chew on that or look at it through a lens, or maybe, you know, put it out and to your network of folks, be like, hey, what do you see with this design? Or I don't want to slow down our project per se, but if it's on the front end, I mean, obviously, we're gonna meet whatever industry standards are, but if there's little things that maybe we aren't seeing, if that's something that we can integrate and get some buy-in from this commission, maybe that'd be
I
valuable.
certainly think that would be
Yeah.
beneficial. And as long as you guys are interested in kind of padding off of what we see and everything. I get that vibe immediately. I want to tell you guys both, thank you. I'm excited to be in a place to work with you guys, actually.
Sure.
It sounds like an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing that this group's talked about a lot is parks and ADA playground equipment.
Yeah.
So I think they were pretty excited to see Pioneer
Pioneer is
Park
amazing.
get some new equipment. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
And
And this was a long time ago, but one of the things that had come up in this discussion was that a long time ago, when there was an ADA swing in Pioneer Park, it was also surrounded by bark. So even though it was accessible to wheelchairs, or that it was made for wheelchairs, it wasn't necessarily accessible to. So even if something as small as that were something that we would be able to.
100% right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we literally had a mark discussion today.
So,
So what are the thoughts on the mark?
yeah.
Is the bark not a good media around playground equipment from that?
From a wheelchair standpoint, no, because the wheels can get gunked up, especially for a kid that's trying to navigate. If it is a self-propelled wheelchair, that can cause a lot of.
Yeah, it's actually sometimes more difficult for motorized because they.
Have you guys done any research yourselves in regards to a different media around playground that needs the certification that would be better for that? I'd love to know that.
There's mats.
Yeah.
So I moved here from Tampa many years ago, but there's mats that they use at playgrounds that have sand or are on the beach because you can't navigate through that either.
Yeah.
And it's fairly inexpensive,
Yeah.
in my understanding, but they use it for like when you put in beach wheelchairs too, for individuals to use to go down to the water.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really easy to install.
Yeah, I just
Maybe
saw that
something to look
actually at
into.
Hell's Gate State
And
Park.
it's like kind of cushy too, so like if somebody was to fall or get, it wouldn't be gravel or it wouldn't be something that was gonna hurt them.
Splits from bird.
Would it work?
Right.
Would it work? Just because once you have the bark.
Like a
in
thick
place,
mat, I forget what it's called.
Would it work to have that like two specific pieces of equipment that would be considered ADA compliant? And just go,
I think that
just
that
as
would be
a,
interesting, worth looking at. A park
Yeah.
that you could go to.
cause it'd be a huge undertaking to like, oh, get rid of all the bark, which is expensive in its own right.
Right.
But then to like try to come up with a complete plan, probably be a long time coming, but you could probably do a path to a specific piece of equipment that was more specific for.
There's fairly large groups of parents too that would, I know that this is way out of the scope, but would fundraise for that equipment, like how the schools fundraise for their own playground equipment.
Yeah.
I swear it's daily, I see posts on Facebook just alone about why don't we have ADA equipment in parks for our kids
Yeah.
and things of that nature.
Yeah,
And it made me a lot more aware of the fact that we just lack there.
Yeah, it's one of my organizational goals to establish a foundation and a commission, so two separate things, and a foundation would be functioning like a PTA.
Right.
Or they're like a fundraising outreach, community outreach arm for parks and recreation, so they can solicit that we as civil.
Right, of course.
Not, right, so that's in my 1 to 2 year goal plan, but Dave and I have not had a whole lot of time to work together, but we do think and look at things very similarly. But I get to educate him on a lot of things playground related. So pour and play is a surface solution that's pretty common in some cities. The issue is that in environments that are dry, arid, hot,
Just gets
sunny,
like that.
it just chews apart, right? And then you're coming and patching constantly. So we can have ADA playgrounds, but they're not fully accessible playgrounds. They're not designed to be either. It's almost like the industry's gotten to a point where it just checks a block and it breathes well. So you have to be very careful. And then when you select additional features in a playground setting, those are where you try to capitalize on truly accessible recreation opportunities. So we'll have a couple opportunities, hopefully in the next couple of years, to really dig into playgrounds. I don't want to steal Nikki's thunder, but I had already offered up opportunities where her office and our team can work more collectively to be kind of checks and balances on our playground safety program. And so the doers are not the ones that are assessing and seeing. There's a separation, division there. From a safety or risk management standpoint, we have somebody that's licensed, trained, certified, go out, look at these spaces, and we action on that for whatever needs to be fixed. Many moons ago, I had that certification that I don't have anymore, and that's fine. But it's an opportunity for us to get better and again, see ourselves. But thank you for the feedback.
No, thank you.
Before I came here, I saw
Work on these.
I see that, yeah. I was like, we need to get better at playgrounds around here. And even when I came here, my first time, I walked all the playgrounds and had to help a mom put the kid up on because the bark was chewed up and out of the way. And so horse stall mats help with some of that. So anyways, I could talk that all day.
Genuinely, I appreciate your.
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Nice meeting you.
Mike,
Yeah, when I worked as an architect a long time ago now, the final word or the final authority on the disability, the ADA was the city building official, or the city building department. Is that still the case?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I am not.
I don't know for sure.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Who is the one, so if you designed a project and then provided it to the community development, right? And then
Yeah,
the building inspector,
right.
somebody would have to say this
This,
absolutely has to be.
Right. and that's the way it was. I just don't know if it's still that way, it's been so long since I've been out of that.
Yeah, there are building standards, yeah, that include ADA, and I think
Yeah.
it goes through a process, yeah.
Okay,
So we look at that.
certainly involving that person would be important in your,
100%, Dave's real familiar with those guys over there.
Imagine so. You know, so
Maybe that's a good topic.
from the other
for
side
that
of it.
meeting.
yeah,
Public Works.
Which is where we're going next.
Well, we don't need to
Thank
kill
you.
any more of your time.
I'll bring it up if I have a chance.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
and on to our active agenda, approval of minutes from July 10th.
Mark's not here. It's a point.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't read them, so I'll be honest.
I read through them, feel like everything is accurate. And I'm not going to go through them with a fine tooth comb and make sure you have an apostrophe in that.
you're not gonna do the Mark Havens thing, huh?
Like misspelling of a word
Yeah,
and
nobody's paying me for
Wrong
that,
pronounce.
for editing right now.
There was no errors in the last one, and Leah was ecstatic.
Right.
Mark didn't find a thing wrong with it.
mark it on the calendar.
Yep.
All right, so do a,
I can motion to approve the minutes.
I would second that.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any discussion? Minutes approved. So future agenda items, Nikki, you said you thought that
Oh, well, because I kind of missed your question, but were you asking like when someone's building something, do they have to go through a process where they're looking at building standards, like standards for ADA?
Yeah, well, that, I know how it used to be 15 years
Yeah.
ago, but I don't know what it's like today. You know?
Essentially, I think, if I may, I believe his question is who's the final,
Right.
Who's the final?
Approval.
Oh, okay.
final approver?
Yeah,
Well, I'm not smart at this whatsoever, so I don't know the full process, but I think there's a group that involves like fire, community development, and public works.
it sounds,
So when a building permit is kind of submitted and the designs,
yeah.
I think they go through a group of people that decide what improvements or changes need to be made.
Is there a guy that's called the building authority or?
There
the
is a building official,
Yeah, building official.
that would be Jeff Wolf, and he's in community development.
Okay,
Would that be something that would interest you guys, is if I asked him
Sure.
that,
I think
like, to
knowing
come
more
talk about that process? Okay,
Yeah, that'd be great.
I could do that.
Anybody else have anything that they would like to discuss at a future meeting? Anything you've seen in the community?
I was like, don't like, why?
You got fresh faces.
I mean, there's lots, I just haven't given it much thought yet.
Well, we have plenty of opportunities. This is gonna be the shortest thing ever.
It's okay, there's only one topic to discuss anyway,
Yeah.
and they've been here for such a short time, but they're pretty.
They already see they are on it.
I met him at the Star Spangled Celebration, I was painting faces there, and I knew as soon as I met him, he was gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we made the offer to him, it was like.
And he seems like he really knows,
Mhm.
you know. what
He
he's
knows
doing,
what he's doing, yeah,
Let's put action under it too.
yeah, he brings,
Which is nice.
he brings some really good leadership skills, so
Mhm, that's what I
we're
was
excited for
gonna say.
both of them, we're excited
Yeah.
for that group.
And they work
There's
good
just
together,
so much
so-
right now for them.
When it's summertime and they've got everything that they're trying to work around and the
Yeah.
two that are going on.
Well, they've had just a little bit of turnover for people getting new opportunities. So it's not just them, but we've had a change in our recreation coordinators and our administrative assistant, and just between retirements and promotions, it's just been. So they're trying to bring it all together.
Any commissioner comments? Liaison comments.
I have none. Believe it or
Let's
not.
go. We're going to adjourn at 12:38. Perfect.
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's got other coppers at my home.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
looking
like-
for me, so I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
apparently I might have been,